Welcome back. We're only a couple of months into a new year, and now is the time to check off some of those pesky items on your to-do list. And if you're a timeshare owner, that might mean finally putting an end to a costly burden and getting out of that timeshare for good. Alexandra Olson, CEO of Up My Timeshare, joined me over Zoom with an incredible offer. We're so glad to have you with us today. Why don't you start out with talking about why do so many people want out of their timeshares?
Oh, thank you so much for having me. Yes, so the last year, of course, with travel, having adjusted and people still having to pay their maintenance fees, a lot of people have reevaluated what are their future travel plans and how much longer do they want to keep paying for this timeshare, whether or not they use it. On top of that, it's a time that a lot of people have used to get their estate in order and to just take care of things that, had been kind of put off in the past.
Absolutely. So talk a little bit about what makes your company so unique.
So we're the only timeshare exit company that doesn't charge anything up front. And that was so important to us for two reasons. One, we really believe that there shouldn't be any risk for the client. It's a pretty straightforward real estate transaction, so we just go through a normal escrow process and actually never get paid directly. All funds go through the title company, which provides a lot of security for the client. On top of that, it also has allowed us to really perfect our process, being all about getting the results, having that transaction completed so that we can actually get paid. And it's made us the world experts on getting it actually done.
What about some scams that people should be watching out for?
Yes, so we actually have a webinar that is a great tool for anyone who's starting to evaluate whether or not they want to keep their timeshare, what their options are. And because there are about 8 million people estimated to want out of their timeshares, there's a lot of scams that have popped up as well. Things like, paying up front to have your timeshare marketed online. And our webinar will teach you about why there's just not a resale market for timeshares any longer. Attorney groups that encourage people not to pay their maintenance fees, which is a legal obligation. And of course, you do need to keep that going until you are actually done with it. And then even worse, we see people that just take money up front and never actually get anything done. So our encouragement always is never pay anyone up front. This isn't a lengthy process, and if someone can't wait a month to get paid on a real estate transaction, you want to keep looking.
Great advice, absolutely. So I hear you're writing a book. Tell us about that.
Yeah, so we actually present seminars all over the country. I go around to 55 plus communities where I've been invited to be a speaker to educate consumers on their legal options for ending a timeshare, or if they want to try to manage, it on their own, renting it, if they want to attempt selling it. So the seminar is called The Truth About Timeshare, and that's now segueing into a book which is going to be released in May, The Truth About Timeshare, and just educating consumers on what are all of their legal options, what can they do with a timeshare to maximize it, to get rid of it, and to enjoy it as well.
That is so important. So many people feel like they're just stuck and have no options. So this is perfect for them. But let's go right back to actually some of the first steps maybe you would tell our viewers about what they can do to get out of their timeshare.
Sure. So the first step always should be to contact the company that you own with. There are rare cases where the developer you actually purchased with will take it back, sometimes even for free. So, that would be step one. We would hate to have someone pay us to get them out of it if they could have gotten out of it through the developer themselves. So always contact the resort first. If they're unable to assist you, then you're going to watch our webinar. It will educate you on all of your choices. It's a very simple and quick process. If you are wanting to move forward with us, there's just a few things that we would need: copies of IDs, a copy of a recent maintenance fee bill, and then we can give you a quote that lets you know what would be the total cost at close of escrow.
All that up front. That's wonderful advice. All right, well, so how can our viewers learn more?
So just a quick Google search of Up My Timeshare, Alexandra Olson Timeshare, The Truth About Timeshare, any of those things will allow you to find us. You should, definitely look for the webinar on our website, giveupmytimeshare.com. Watch that. Even if you're very much at the beginning of the process or don't quite feel like where you're going with it, this will help you to zero in on, what are the choices and be an educated consumer so you're making a smart choice.
All wonderful advice already. Thank you so much. If you want out of that timeshare, Give Up My Timeshare can help. Call them today at 833-344-8387 to schedule a free consultation. You can also visit giveupmytimeshare.com for more information and a free educational webinar. Give Up My Timeshare paid for today's segment.